stuff on Do Not Disturb. Let's get this party started. Yo, we are live for our Friday morning sessions at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Man, today going to talk about how to drop leads into your hands. And I know we are at a very uh, unique, interesting position. So, for my business leaders, for those that are watching this, for anyone that's watching this video is for anyone that is looking to build a pipeline, a funnel, opportunities to where you are finding the right people. And I'm excited because I have some notes. I'm excited to talk to you about what does that mean when you're going to drop leads in your hands? Because you have good leads and you have bad leads. And it's like going to the dog park, think you're going to sell some cheeseburgers, but you should have brought dog biscuits. So, uh, for those that don't know, I'm Nathan Webster. I've been a marketing consultant and agency owner for the last 10 years, been doing it for the last 20 years. And my oh my, it's amazing how things have changed. And I, as I try to go to different places so I can make sure I have a good signal if I don't, so I don't lose y'all. I'm here to answer any questions. So make sure if you have any questions, let me know, hit me up. And with that, let's get started. Before I get going, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you haven't already liked, please do so. I see two of y'all would love to know who you are, where you're from, and how can I help you. So with that, let's get started. So, question for you. Do you know how many searches a day Google has? Let's start there. Let's start there because I know we've all used Google or a search engine, and I'll tell you the answer in just a little bit. But I'm going to tell you statistically, SEMrush has this article that says there is 3 to 4 searches that we deploy every day on Google as an individual. Worldwide, there is, to answer your question, is 8.5 to 13 billion searches per day. Okay? Now, SEMrush says that it is 9.5 million searches that are happening every minute. That's beyond the comprehension of like we used to talk about searches. What does that look like? Well, if it comes to finding the leads that you want, it is going to be for someone that's going to search you. I would say the pretty simple, easiest answer is you want to be able to find the solution you're looking for when you do a search, right? So if you just reverse engineer that, you are going to be someone's solution. So when you're talking about how do we drop leads, how can I drop a lead? And I just want to make sure that I'm speaking directly to you and not my mic. I want to make sure you understand that how do you drop leads in your hands and get to where you want to be and get to how you want to do things and live that life that you want to live? You have to talk to people. You're going to have to let everyone know what you're doing to where people are like saying, oh, you do that, right? Oh, here he goes again. Oh, here she's going to talk about this. They need to know who you are as an individual and a professional, because we got the personal side and we have the professional side. And then they need to know what you do, because there's a personal fulfillment that you're going to do as a friend, a family member, sibling, whatever the case, right? But then they don't know the professional side of you of how you're going to deliver. Now, people will say you're all in one, and yes, we are, but when you wear different hats, some people get completely confused because that's not how we have been trained to talk, act, and behave. So if you want leads, I'm going to say start with your immediate family and friends. Now, I'm going to say start there. Why? Because they're the easiest people to talk to. Are they going to be leads for you? Probably not. But here's what's going to happen. You are going to start to work on your pitch, work on what you're doing, and you're going to be, hopefully, that person that is going to solve their problem. that person, right? More than likely it's not, but more than likely you have the greater opportunity for them to say, you know what, I'm going to give you a shot. Again, 9.5 million searches every minute. People are looking for answers. And the question you got to ask yourself are you going to answer that problem for them? And you know what? More than likely, you already have in some way, shape, or form. You might not just be getting monetized from it. So let me start with the family and friends because we talk about that, right? As we like, folks say, go and talk to your people, your family and friends. And even in investing, that's where you get your angel round funding is family and friends. But when you take that to another level, when you begin, this is what we call the STP, segment, target, and position. You have to start positioning your hook, your offer, your pitch, basically, of how you're going to solve people's problems to the right people. Now, it's one thing to say, I offer this. Remember my example about the dog park? I'm going to take some cheeseburgers. No, no one's going to buy the cheeseburgers, but people might buy some dog biscuits if you're at the dog park. So if you take what you're offering and you're just selling and blasting it, or I should say, pitching it to everybody, saying, come buy this from me, you're going to get tired, you're going to get burnt out, and you're going to be exhausted. Now, what if you went to a handful of people, like three, tops five people, and you make this presentation, and what do you think will happen? More than likely, you make that pitch to 3 to 5 interested parties, people that want to hear you speak, and they will say, you know what? I want to know more. Can you tell me more? And I have a Carmen Marie, hello, right back to you. And so they're going to say, tell me more about this. Tell me more. So back in the day, there used to be called Tupperware parties. For those that are like my age and up, we know Tupperware parties, and we bring over your family and friends, and we now it's just you can call it Tupperware or plastic containers. But back then, it was a big deal for you to have a Tupperware party, and then you make an order, and then people would buy things, and then you would have some Tupperware. You don't ever hear Tupperware parties anymore because Tupperware is no longer uh, a scarce commodity. You can buy Tupperware from the minute or convenience store. But the concept of you going into a room of interested people, and with those interested people, they are wanting to hear your pitch because more than likely they also want to buy from you. Now you're doing something. What's up, Prime Boy? What's up? What's up? And so now you're in a room full of people that says, I have problems. I have my hand up. I have a problem. I have a problem. Are you able to fix my problem? Are you able to solve my problem? You're able to help me with this? Because, oh my God, I've been waiting for someone to come help me with this problem. You said that you're going to help me with my problem? Tell me more. How can I get this solution? Because I'm tired of it. I'm worn out from it. I'm exhausted from it. I'm burnt out from it. You can help me with my problem? Where can I sign the paperwork? Where can I go? Well, tell me, what do I need to do in order for you to solve my problem? And now, what begins to happen? People will start buying, and all you need is one person in a crowded room to say, I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to say, I want what you are selling. And from there, people are gonna be like, okay. Um, and I forget the name of the term, but it's like the social effect of where if someone else is saying they want it, maybe I may want it. So that's where when you go to family and friends, more than likely you're gonna get a yes. But here's where the selling comes from. Back in the day, like in the 1930s to about 1950s, we had marketing has what's called marketing eras. And in this era, this is kind of like the production era to where you go to the, and depending on where you get it from, people call these eras different. But 1930 to 1950, you had the coming out of the Great Depression, you had a lot of sales that were just people coming to the person that has solutions. Well, that had to get flipped upside its head, and they said we're going to start sending people out into the public, because yeah, people can find you, but what if we could just go to the people and sell? Well, they started to say, oh, well, I have this person that has this, that person has that. And in this era, because we didn't have technology back in the day, we just had one person that had the knowledge to say this person or this block or this community, this area is able to buy this, like, in which is why you have milkmen coming to the door. That's when the milkman started. They understood, like, oh, if they're not going to come to the store, we can go to their houses and leave milk on their doorsteps. So when we're talking about sales back then, almost like 70 years ago, sales was not a foreign concept like it is not a foreign concept at all. It was for the here. Let me rephrase that, because now we understand, oh, I'm being sold or I'm being pitched. Back then it was like, oh, you want to sell me this? Tell me about it. The sale process was still very new in its infancy, so it didn't feel like I'm getting pressured. It wasn't, people weren't feeling like I had to buy, like, like the pressure. No, they were like, okay, tell me more about how I was going to benefit from this product, because they didn't have a lot like 70 years ago. There weren't options 70 years ago. We didn't have all these conveniences 70 years ago. So when it comes to when you start talking to people that know you on a personal level about what you're doing professionally, they're gonna be like, okay, here. Hmm. Let me so wait, tell me more about that. And then they're gonna say, like, hold on, when did you start doing this? Like, hold on, like, how do you know all this, right? They want to qualify you, right? Because they're like, when did you start doing this, right? Here's the beautiful thing about friends and family. They will support you, but they may not support on the professional side. But however, that will not stop you in regards to improving your pitch. Because as you obviously you gotta keep going, or if not, you learn, like, hey, I'm not gonna keep doing this because this is not for me. But for the people that say this is for me, I gotta work on my pitch. But I know if it's sold here, I can take it outside, that people that don't say love and like me, but if I can get a chance to pitch it to them, they don't need to love me, they don't need to like me, because I'm selling this product that's going to benefit them. One of the easiest ways now, as we are in the digital era, people call this maybe the social era. When now that we're in the digital, where all you got to do is go on your phone and choose what you want to buy, click it. The faceless salesperson, it works like a charm. That is our norm today in 2025. Our norm is to not have anyone sell us anything, because we've already done our due diligence and we're just going to the app and making the purchase. 70 years ago, you had to go through a person. Now, that being said, you can say, Nathan, I need to sell this one thing that I really want. And I think about all my business to business folks that are selling services. They don't have a product, they're selling services. And I'm gonna ask you, have you done all your due diligence to making sure that they know exactly what you do? Do they know? Like, I have even told, if I'm being honest, I'm now telling every single person of how my life has changed in the last 18 months of what I'm selling. I had a position about a year ago, and I was telling people that I'm doing my company full time. And they were like, You have a company? You have a business? What do you do? And I was like, I've been doing marketing for like 9, 8 years. And before that I had a nonprofit. Oh, I never knew that. Y'all, we have this assumption that people have done their due diligence and have followed us, they have studied us, they know our past, they know our background. No, that's for us to share. That's for us to tell people and let them know what we do and how we do it. So, one of the easiest things, but yet the hardest, and just because it's simple, I have someone that says, just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easiest or it's easy. because the easiest thing for us to do, which will be in regards to the effort of the maybe overcoming the fear, is hard, but the easiest thing for us to do is tell everybody that we know what we do. And maybe you can start a conversation where instead of them thinking like we're just going to sit down and talk, maybe you frame it and you position it instead of you just talking to people of what you do. Now you're conversating with them on what you do. If you have your pitch, as in your hook and your offer, streamlined, now you can go and say to them, look, I want to sit down with you because I want to talk to you about what I think can solve your problem. Having that hook and that offer is something different than having a conversation, but you it's okay if you're not there yet, it does start with a conversation because people want to talk things out in a B2B, not a B2C, a business to consumer. I'm talking about business to business from one person to another person. You're going to have to develop a relationship with them no matter what. And if you haven't built up a relationship with them just yet, that's okay. Make sure they have enough information about you so that they can get to know, like, and trust you. Because that trust piece is so vital for them to say, I may not know if the product will deliver, but I do believe in this person that they will deliver. That trust is a very big deal. If you can get people to trust you, more than likely they will buy from you. Even when I've seen people sell things that may not like be promising, they believed in the salesperson. And I know that now Elon Musk is revered to this huge, ginormic, intelligent, uh, business thought leader. But you got to remember, like, how many times did he go broke? How many times, like, did he invest and invest? And Elon talked. They were like people think he invented Tesla. No, he's just an investor that put all his money into it, and they gave he gave so much money to Tesla. They're like, okay, you can own the company because there was just a bunch of engineers that say we have this design. And if you follow Tesla's journey in the very beginning, it was extremely rocky. I think maybe for a short amount of time they were just on smooth sailing. But if you ever listen to Elon's journey of when Tesla was not working, people's cars were, and some of these were celebrities, their cars were like die on the middle of the road, and they were like, come get, a celebrity, their car out in the middle of nowhere. Can you imagine the phone call that Elon would get to say, you want me to get this car and look, this car has broke down on me? Could you imagine that phone call? But coming back to, they believed in him. They believed in the vision. And then you look at Bezos. Amazon was, how long were they not in the black, as in not making a profit? For years. But they continue to get investments like not 20, not four, not like $20, not 100, not 1,000, but hundreds of thousands of dollars of investments of folks pouring in to say, I love your vision. Right. So this is where, I mean, Jeff Bezos went to his parents to get his first, and the angel round, the family and friends. He pitched the idea, hook, line, sinker, right? The offer was great, and now no one's saying it's not a bad idea now. Doesn't mean the business doesn't stop, but they still have to sell. Now Jeff Bezos is not selling face to face. Now people have the app. So this is where I'm learning, even on the smallest level, to where I'm reading on a larger level of when it comes to B2B, business to business sales, of how do you get leads to drop in your hand, is you need to talk to people. You need to talk to every single person you know, because more than likely not every single person is going to buy from you. However, they will probably, if you give them some time, they will probably, if you ask, you got to ask, I'm going to say ask, they will point you in the direction. Now, some people may not have a contact for you. Some people may not know anything what you're talking about. But if you don't ask, like if you don't put yourself out there, by telling people, you say, hey, when you're family and friends, right? You just say, hey, I've been doing this. And you go into the professional, say, hey, just so you know, I am working on this and doing this. Have you ever thought about da 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 da? Boom. That might be a conversation that leads to, oh, I was looking into it too. How can I help you? Or it could be like, man, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, boom. Just move on. Use your time wisely, because if you have like 400 people in your contacts, that would be a long conversation. Like that would be a long day if you try to hit 400 people one day. But if you said, look, I'm gonna hit 20 people every day, you can get there in 2 months. But what if you said, like, if I just texted people, however you want to go about it. And I don't know this strategy. I don't know how you want to go. You can DM people on social media. I'm just thinking, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud, because I'm like, yo, you have to start telling people what you do. One of the biggest problems that I even have gone through is I haven't told people all the things that I do. And when I start telling people things that I do, they're like, oh, like, tell me more. I want to learn more. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I tell my clients, especially the ones that do food, I'm like, how many people don't know that you can cook like this? How many people don't know that you can cater for them? How many people, like personal friends, have you not asked that you could provide this service for? People don't know the side of you that is the brilliant side. They just have maybe just know the friendly, cool side, but they don't know how you execute and get down side. When they start seeing that you can execute and get down a certain way, now they're like, ooh, how can I get some of that? And some, if those folks, especially when I started wearing this, people are like, how can I get that? I didn't start taking it serious until someone said, Nathan, seriously, I'll pay you. When can I get a hoodie? When can I get something that says BU? I'm like, what? You want one of my you want one of my BU merch? What? Huh? When they said I will pay you, everything changed, right? I'm here just wearing some merch just because it's the merch, it's my brand, but I didn't know it could be an opportunity in the business place, in the marketplace. So I will tell you, if you are really impassioned and passionate about all the things that you're doing, then you can't keep it a secret. We are bombarded by so many. Again, SEMrush said there are 9.5 million searches every minute. People are looking for a a solution for their problem. They are either in some sort of financial pain, personal pain, emotional pain, and if they own a business, their business is going through something similar, because nothing is perfect. No person is perfect. No business is perfect. So when Google is reporting that there is 8.5 to 13 billion searches per day, I don't think that those searches are people saying, I'm having how can I share my great day? No, they're looking for things to buy. They're looking for things to solve their problem. Everybody has a problem. Do you what you do, does it serve a problem that somebody has? Like the idea that you turned into a solution for a business. Have you told enough people that you can solve their problem in a way that makes sense to them? The last thing I'll say is, this is where people get into trouble, thinking that they can serve everyone. Or in another way, people say, I want to serve my all my people here in this area. People in this area may not have the funding, the funds, or the desire to buy from you. You might need to go to a different geographical location. Location nowadays is also digital, right? We live in this little box. How come it can't be digital? Or coming back to the the example of the searches, how many people are looking for a problem to be solved online without leaving the convenience and look and the luxury of their home or their whatever their place is? So the last thing I'll say to you is, please don't put yourself in a box and say, is for everyone. Nothing's for everyone. Nothing is for everyone. So why put yourself in a place where businesses that are crushing it are not trying to serve everyone? If you're trying to serve everyone, you're gonna lose, and I don't want you to lose. Again, like, I had to learn the lesson the hard way, that even though I love what I do, not everybody is going to love it back, and it's not for everyone. Some people in your life just want to clap and say, "Hey, that's cool that what you're doing, but it's not for me." So find the people that is going to be that it is for them, that you created it for them. You have to talk to people, and for those leads to drop in your hands, you have to let every single person know without a doubt with what you do, and with what you do, they know that you are the man, you are the woman, you are the expert, you are the subject matter expert in that service or that category, that industry. So now this is your opportunity to shine. And for you, it's just one lead after another lead that has become a client, to another client, to a returning customer. And that's where, when it comes to having leads drop in your hands, when those customers start to say, "Man, I love every single thing that I do, or every single thing that you do. I need to share this with my people. Let me share this out." And then that's where you get the golden goose of marketing we call word of mouth. So, with that, y'all, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate y'all watching, because I know this is a live. For those that are watching that are not on live, love to hear your comments. I come on, or drop your comments down below of like, how do you feel you can share this with people? I want to know, because we all have our own different circles, right? And I do this live because I want to engage with people. I want to know, like, how does it feel when you have something you're sitting on and then you share it and they didn't know? They were like, "Whoa, where did that come from?" You're like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." So it is a great feeling. And I know I'm not the only one that has that feeling. So I would love for you to share, because I know, like, for example, my baby, I want to end on this. My baby Grace, man, she can bake, she can cook, and she be like surprising people with how good she be cooking. And then people like, "I didn't know you could do all that," and she inspires others to do that, you know. But my baby, she be throwing down. So y'all, if like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but if you love what you do and you having problem getting leads, more than likely it's because not enough people know about what you do and how you do it, and also probably how good you are at it. So don't stop crushing it in the things that you love, because God's got a blessing from you. With that, I wish y'all the best. Dream big and Godspeed.